Hello and welcome to the show, guys. This is part two of the episode where we're talking about Pakistani Americans. Pakistani Americans यहाँ पले बड़े हैं, and we're talking about what it means to be a Pakistani American, what it means to grow up in this environment. Fahad, we were talking to you. Describe to us again. I mean, again, when your friend came into your house and you said, "Man, your place smells like curry." I mean, did you feel that that's a bad thing, or like, did you feel that like, did you just like sort of play it off?
No, he told me later that your house smells like curry, but he was Chinese, so I told him his house smelled like fish, which was also true. So it wasn't really a big deal.
It wasn't a big deal for you.
No, it didn't bother me. It wasn't too bad.
I mean, did you ever have an experience like that where you were just sort of like, if I bring someone home, they're gonna see my my dad, my parents, and like they're gonna see my weird upbringing.
My parents had their desi hospitality, so somebody would come over and my mom would make them eat, and for like years I still hear a joke because mom would like eat something, eat this, eat a banana, and till now I hear it from my friends, but it's endearing because people still like love my parents, they care about my parents, so they come over, it's nice. So that's
no, but when that was happening, when like you have like samosas coming
yeah,
in while
honestly,
you're like
but
playing video games,
it wasn't bad. It would be I would like Ammi Urdu mein I'd be like Ammi please the banana there, but like she would do it, but it was charming. Now I look at it in hindsight, it's charming. It was nice then too because my friends were over all the time. But there's one thing kind of going off. We were talking about this in our breaks, that life for us in the U.S. wasn't that bad. It was great as Muslims, as Pakistanis. We were different. We felt different. Maybe we were even treated differently. But it was like a welcoming difference. It wasn't ever negative in the sense that, oh, you're different. It was always positive kind of different. People appreciated the differences. They were interested. So that's one, at least for me, my personal experiences, I was different. People knew I was different.
Did you ever use that to your advantage? Or you like, we call the diversity card. Did you ever just?
In college, I was late to all my classes because I would be up till late in the morning, 6 a.m., whatever. And I'd wear like shalwar kameez or dhoti and go to class, and the teacher never asked. And literally, I did this every week. I had like a seminar, I was hour every week, and I would just wear dhoti and go to class, and the teacher would be like, never asked. It worked. It worked.
We're not going to deal with this guy.
Yeah, so it's like religious reasons. It works.
Yeah, exactly. Have you ever used a diversity card that ever worked for you?
No, not really. I mean,
you really don't have to. I mean,
yeah, I've never had to use the diversity card. I don't think. I mean, the only, but to go back to what he was saying a little bit, like, so the first time I had an inclination that maybe I was different was actually in a very different way from what people would assume. I was actually in an Islamic school, and everybody was Muslim, and I thought, okay, this is going to be great, so I was going to fit in. But my first week, everybody was like, well, you're not a real Muslim because you don't speak Arabic, and that was like, well, this is a bit ridiculous, because I know how to pray, I do all the same stuff as you guys, but just because I'm not Arab, you guys assume that I'm somehow less of a Muslim than you, or a second-class student or whatever. And I think that that was like maybe the first time I felt, well, this is strange, and then I went to normal school after that, and nobody treated me any differently. And so to answer your question from
the other side, right? So I mean, that's interesting. I mean, you're someone, again, we talked about this earlier, that you're someone who is very conscious of your Muslim identity. Have you had any similar issue, or has it been the opposite?
Well, I think that might have something to do with the differences in communities with Northern Virginia and Atlanta, Georgia. In Atlanta, the Pakistani, the African, the Arab communities were not big enough for them to I guess, have prejudices against each other. We were all basically in it together because we were all small communities. And so we never had issues like that. And that might be why I feel stronger about my Muslim identity than I do about my Pakistani identity, because in Northern Virginia, there's a big Pakistani community, and you guys have the, I guess, latitude to feel like a community, and you can fall back on each other.
So, I mean, you're saying that the Muslim community in Georgia was not big enough for you to independently, go into your Arab community and your Pakistani community,
right? Exactly.
That's interesting. I mean, is that something in North Carolina that you...
North Carolina is a pretty small community. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a pretty small community, but it was, again, there is the Muslim community, but then there's the fighting between the Arab-run mosque and there's the Pakistani mosque. I mean, unfortunately, in many of these Muslim communities, these splits between these different ethnicities or different countries, nations keep coming into play. So I think it's similar to somewhat Atlanta. But
I think maybe part of that is because we don't actually, a lot of the mosques in America don't actually have imams that are American Muslims, right? So a lot of those people are imported from wherever, like Egypt, and maybe the people from Egypt feel, hey, you know, this guy sounds like me and reminds me of home, and they like it. But I mean, I feel like maybe in the next 10, 15 years, as we get more people who are younger going into being religious scholars, then maybe one day it will actually be where the community in America is actually a more integrated community, where we're not really hung up about, hey, well, you know, you're from Palestine and I'm from, you know, Pakistan, so we can't go to the same masjid, or you pray up here, I pray down here, we're somehow completely different. And maybe one day then everybody will just realize, hey, you know, maybe it doesn't really matter as long as you're praying and everything's going on.
But I think part of what's different growing up here is that our parents grew up around, if we're talking about Muslim American or Pakistani American, our parents grew up with, like, for instance, mine, Pakistani Muslims in Pakistan. There's a big difference there. And even though I identify more, perhaps sometimes, with my Pakistani American identity, I don't feel like I have to choose between Muslim American and Pakistani. I was raised around everybody, and so it's still part of, like, my proficiency. Like, when I was little, I dealt with, you know, I interacted with Palestinians, Sudanese, whatever it is. And so as you get older and, you know, like, communities are being built and, you know, we're becoming working professionals, it's just, it just kind of meshes together at some point, and it works.
Time for a break, and after the break, we'll continue this discussion. Welcome back from the break. Well, what did you mean when you said that, you know, your parents coming from a Pakistani Muslim background as opposed to an American Muslim background?
Well, because they were
Expand
raised
on
in
the difference.
Pakistan.
No, but expand on that difference, though, a little bit.
I mean, they were raised in Pakistan. How much the diversity that exists in America is completely different from the diversity that exists in Pakistan. Pakistan, it's more so like, are you Punjabi? Are you Sindhi? Are you, you know, Pathan or Balochi? Whatever it is. Those were the diversities there. Here, yeah, each and every one of us might be from a different, you know, Pakistani, like, background, but then on top of that, we have so many other differences as well. And so when you get used to those differences, it's not really that big of an issue. And
Right.
you kind of find the commonalities because they still understand what you're going through, because you're still an immigrant. You're still first generation. And I grew up, you know, I grew up in a similar area as Farouk and Fahad, and it was really, really diverse. But what I realized was I went to an historically black college. So, I mean, the first week around me, everyone was black. And I'd never been in that kind of environment, whereas in high school there might have been like 1 or 2 black kids and that's it. To go from you barely had any white kids. And to go to that and you realize how many similarities you have with people, it's unbelievable. And people accept you for who you are, and they were truly curious about what you brought to the table.
So that's interesting. I mean, you're almost saying that, you know, the immigrant experience becomes sort of the dominant way of interacting with people or relating with other minorities, I suppose.
Because that transition is even bigger than you just being Pakistani.
Right.
Because being immigrant, you dealt with the same problems as someone that was completely different from you. You know, you getting your visas, you getting your first job, you buying your first home. Those things and the things that they had to tackle, it's the same thing. It's the same story about whatever it is, discrimination or not discrimination, social class, all of these sorts of things. And so when you learn about that, then you're kind of a bit more open-minded and you realize I don't really have to embrace a specific identity. I can get along with everyone if I want to get along with everyone.
You found that, like, you know, identifying with other minority groups as they're defined here in the US?
Yeah, I think so. I think as you kind of, you know, get past adolescence and, you know, you're a young adult, etc., a lot of these lines don't really matter that much anymore. I mean, I have friends that are everything, black, white, Asian, you name it. And you don't really, race or ethnic origin doesn't really need to play that much of a role. At the end of the day, you know, you're all from the same kind of class or group and you have lots in common, and you don't really have to fall back on your Pakistani identity. I mean, you can have your Pakistani group of friends and, you know, do your culturally Pakistani things, but that doesn't have to define your entire life by any means.
You know, it's interesting. Do you guys feel that, like, in a community such as, let's say, a Pakistani American community, and this is something that you had sort of touched on, you know, in Pakistan, you're right, often your differences are defined by Sindhi, Balochi, Punjabi, etc. Have you guys found that those differences have carried over, and have you found that like you find yourself cognizant of those differences here in the States, or is it less so of an issue?
Resident that they do, I think there is still your Punjabi culture, and I think actually even as I get older, I used to not believe in these kind of differences. As I got older, I see myself buying more into it. It's odd, but it is true. But another point to that, I think American society is more accepting of our differences than even Pakistani society is of accepting of people who are from the Pakistani or Pakistani Americans who are different than them. So I think as a society, that's the one thing I do want to say is society is accepting of our differences. When it comes to whether our cultures, yeah, we do stick in our Sindhis. There's the Karachi crowd, there is the Punjabi crowd, there's the uneducated Punjabi crowd, there's the Jet Punjabi crowd. So that sticks there, and that gets more ingrained. Actually, it's more ingrained here than it is back home.
Well, this is actually something that I wanted to ask you guys about, because we started the discussion with this term ABCD, but there's also another term talking about the people coming from Pakistan, and that's FOB, which is fresh off the boat. Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, like, I don't know, when you first met a cousin of yours coming from, Pakistan, were you like, wow, what a fob? Like, was it like something like, was there something they did that all of a sudden you were like, that kid's just fob?
I think you realize that, oh my God, I just had a fob moment. Like as you get older, you're like, wow, some things just never change.
I've had family friends that have come who were born and raised there, and maybe they come here for school. And sometimes it's shocking, like they can run sort of the whole gamut. So you can be very sort of insulated, and they'll only come here and they'll only hang out with other people that are from Pakistan or maybe India, just because they feel comfortable speaking in Urdu or whatever, eating, chane and all those things. So, and then on the other side, you'll see people that are doing that exact same thing, but then they're actually in many ways like, I don't want to say liberal, but they do things that even I wouldn't feel comfortable really doing. Like, so they'll go and, go partying and things like that. And you're like, but how, like, we grew up here and we have sort of these lines that we don't cross. And then you have people that are coming from Pakistan that in many ways may have had a more authentic experience of being Pakistani. But those people are completely at ease doing things that maybe I'm uncomfortable doing. And so, I've actually found that to be perplexing in many ways, because sometimes you have people who are very closed-minded in a way, and they're very sort of conservative in the sense that, well, they won't feel comfortable, going to a lunch where there may be women present. But then at the same time, you'll see them on the weekend, and they'll be like, hey, man, I'm going to go out, and we're going to go partying. And you're like, I don't understand how this makes any sense. And so, like, that's what I found to be bizarre. That's the fob, like, stuff that I just don't understand. Like, it just goes way over my head.
So you're saying it's almost like, intuitively you would think that they would be, less liberal and, they'd be conservative, and you see that part of them, but you also see the part of them that's,
it's almost like they are living a parallel life.
Why do you think
and
that
they're
is,
on both
though?
extremes at the same time, and I don't understand how you can do that.
Why do you think that
I
is?
think part of that, I don't know about the both extremes part, but I know that our parents, came from Pakistan at a different time, and they came to the U.S. So in their minds, Pakistan is still the Pakistan when they were growing up. So they raise their kids so that their kids kind of, they're trying to protect them so that they maintain some of those values that they had. Whereas, maybe this equivalent person in Pakistan doesn't have that need to maintain their culture. They're in the culture. They're going to get it either way. So, and Pakistan has changed as well, and it's become a lot more liberal and different. You can do different things now than you could do, well, in some ways, I guess. Maybe not in all ways, but a lot of things are more acceptable now than they were among, let's say, like my cousins or something like that, for example. So they don't have the same lines, and also their parents aren't as worried about them losing their culture because they're in it and there's no danger of that. Whereas our parents, I think, were a little
So
concerned
you're saying
of
that, when your parents moved here and they were raising kids here, they were more cognizant of sheltering their
Absolutely.
kids from,
Like,
I guess, broader American society or liberalness,
Right.
as we might define it.
Right.
And in Pakistan, because you don't have to do that, you have this sort of almost more freedom.
Yeah, if you come from abroad to the U.S., life here, growing up here is such an unknown. What is high school like? What is middle school like? If you come from abroad, these are very scary concepts. So you want to be very careful and set boundaries for your kids. Whereas, for me, I went to high school here. I went to middle school here. So, inshallah, when I have kids, it's not going to be as big of a deal. It's not an unknown quantity for me.
So I want to ask you this. I mean, how did you respond to maybe relatives that had come from Pakistan? Was it weird to see them or to see how they were socializing? What was that experience like for you?
Well, it's interesting because just going off of what Fahad said, whenever I would go to visit Pakistan, I would feel like I was Pandu between my family members because being raised here, exactly what he said, my parents were a lot more strict with the way that they raised me, and whenever I would go back, I would think that this is how my family is back home too, and I would go and I would be wearing long clothes, and I would make sure that everything was the way my parents wanted me to be here. And my cousins would be like, Sophia, you just came from America. Why are you acting like you came from the village? We want you to teach us about like American culture and stuff like that. So it's similar to
The funny thing is that it's like they want to be more American and we want to be more Pakistani. It's kind of.
See, my experience, now that I'm of marriageable age, I meet girls here and there. And my experience of fobs is slightly different. I see, from my personal experience, they're like a much more completer package. That's a broad generalization. But you meet a girl from Al Khan, she can dress pretty, she can be a fashionista, she's smart, and she can carry a conversation, she has social grace. So from my experiences, I've seen like the positive side of fobness too, where you're just much more, not even a jack of all trades, you're a queen of all trades. And
well, let's ask the ladies here. Are the fobs more complete packages? How do we feel about this? How do we feel about this?
There's a good side of it, which is the fact that they're similarly they know how to interact with people really well. But I think that as a female living here, there's a lot of misconceptions that they have. I mean, I think people have been very shocked by the fact that, you actually practice. It's not even do you pray, but it's like, you actually know how to pray. And you just sit back and you're like, excuse me?
I know how to pray more than you.
It's just it's just kind of there's this huge bias as though we don't know anything. And it's like, no, I mean, Islam just isn't in Pakistan. Islam is everywhere. And everyone practices. And I think it's just that misconception that they have that they probably don't know anything.
ये discussion जारी रखेंगे after the break. Welcome back from the break. Here's a sweeping statement that often like a Pakistani coming from Pakistan will make. They'll be like, यार इन लोगों को देखो, इन लोगों के बच्चे बिगड़ गए हैं, right? And that will encompass just about anything. You do anything that's not what they perceive to be Pakistani, and you're all of a sudden like, देखो बच्चे बिगड़ गए वहाँ पाकिस्तान में पले बड़े नहीं, अमेरिका में पले बड़े तो बिगड़ गए. Have you ever come across that, that sort of that almost stereotype of Pakistani Americans that they're just been spoiled?
Well, just going off of what someone said, anytime that people, or I guess especially men, I don't want to say fob, but when Pakistani men, they first come here, they have this image of Pakistani American women, and they tend to judge us based off of just what we look like. And if we're wearing pants and we're working and we're dealing with men in the workplace, then they categorize us as bad girls or girls who are loose, and they must be more American than they are Pakistani. And for them, they don't see how a girl who looks like me could actually be religious and say her prayers, which is what someone was saying as well. So that was
that's, I mean, and I mean, how do you deal with that? How do you respond to that?
Well, I guess there's not really a response, because you can't teach someone who's judging you based off of what you look like just by saying anything. You just have to show them through your actions, and they'll learn, as time goes on. I think it takes new Pakistanis in America at least a couple of months to realize that their image of Americans or Pakistani Americans isn't what it really is.
Right. कभी किसी ने कहा कि बिगड़ गया तुम?
And it's not वैसे मैं बिगड़ा ही हूँ, but the difference is the nuances, cultural nuances are slightly different. What people are doing, what a girl in Pakistan, if she's doing X, and I know it's a generalization, but if she's doing X, she's probably doing Y, Z, and whatever else might be there. But here, if somebody, for example, drinks, they drink. In Pakistan, I've seen it where somebody who drinks, they just don't stop at drinking, they do whatever. So I think when somebody comes from there, it's a normal progression to see if this person is doing this from their perspective, they will be doing everything else. So when they see somebody who's quite progressive on the outer surface, that expectation that they're, and like they do certain other activities is, I guess, normal to me. I can see why they come from that position.
Right. I mean, this is actually, well, it's interesting you say that. Does this also impact, let's say, one's political views? I mean, because this, it's almost taking a different context, but the liberal conservative context also exists in the political realm. Have you ever found that, like, your political views, based on what your political views are in Pakistan, they judge you on, what you are socially as well? Someone is, supports Obama, for instance, and this is something that's happened recently, and it's something that people presume Obama is liberal, for instance, which he, may well be. And if you support Obama, therefore you support a lot of his liberal agenda. In a Pakistani context, that's very different. A liberal in America is very different than a liberal in Pakistan. Have you ever found that that distinction has been carried forth?
I guess I'm not quite sure. I don't think that Pakistanis will judge you that much based on which candidate you go for.
Or your general political inklings, though?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It seems like those U.S. political inklings are kind of divorced from the things that most Pakistanis would care about as far as your personality and what kind of box to put you in. I'm not sure if the box that you go in from their perspective depends on whether you're a Democrat or Republican. I mean, the only thing I could think about is that if you're a Republican, then someone might look upon that badly because Republicans aren't really known as having that much minority outreach. So maybe they could think that you're trying too hard to not be Pakistani, and that's why you're a Republican. That's something that I could think of.
I feel like that's a current fad. When initially I would interact with people, everybody was Republicans because they have good moral Islamic values, because they're against abortion, they're against all these other things. So I thought all these Muslims were generally pro-Republican, and then the Obama fad came, and then finally all Muslims were moving towards Obama because Barack Hussein Obama, our Muslim black president. But I honestly thought I honestly thought everybody, growing up, all the Muslims were more Republican, even the older generation. Many of them still hold out and they go Republican based on social issues, even though many people feel that Republicans are not as open to minorities.
Right. I mean, this is an interesting discussion, and this is something we can talk about forever, like sort of the distinctions between, what the perception of Pakistanis towards Pakistani Americans, and then almost vice versa. But unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. This is something that on this show we hope to address continually. लेकिन आज के लिए इतना ही time हमारे पास है. This was our special show on Pakistani Americans. इन लोगों के क्या तासुरात हैं various issues के बारे में, और क्या experience इनका रहा growing up here in the United States. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time on Z360.